Today, I want to speak to you about a vision that can transform your life if you allow it to take root in your mind and heart. There is a presence, a power, a truth that is in everything around you, yet so many walk through life blind to it. You see, the eyes of the mind must be trained, sharpened, awakened. Every moment, every encounter, every challenge is not random. It carries a message, a whisper of the divine. And if you learn to see it, if you train your mind to recognize it, your world will never be the same. The ordinary will become extraordinary. The mundane will become sacred. And the moments you once overlooked will begin to reveal the hand of God guiding, shaping, and calling you to a higher purpose. The divine shift is coming, and it is not something that the world sees with its natural eyes, but it is a movement of God that touches every part of life, every heart, every circumstance. There is a season upon you, a time that has been decreed from the foundations of the earth, a moment that has been set in the heavens long before this day. And yet it will not announce itself with thunder or with the clamor of men, but quietly, secretly, subtly, it will touch the life of those who are awake, those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. The shift is already underway in the spiritual realm, invisible to the naked eye. Yet it is moving powerfully toward manifestation in the natural, and it will affect the course of events, the outcome of situations, and the direction of nations, families, and individual lives. Many will miss it because they are looking for signs in the wrong places. Many will ignore it because their hearts are heavy, their minds distracted, their souls numb. But for those who turn their hearts toward understanding, for those who seek the presence of God with diligence and humility, the shift will be unmistakable, and it will bring both a warning and a provision, a judgment and a deliverance, a closing and an opening. It is a moment where the hidden things will be revealed, where the veils will be lifted, and where God's hand, which has been guiding, protecting, and orchestrating, will become visible in ways that cannot be denied. The shift is not merely about external circumstances, but about the inner alignment of the heart. It calls for repentance, for a turning away from distraction, from complacency, from the pursuits that steal vision and delay destiny. It calls for vigilance, for prayer, for discernment, for clarity to recognize the timing and the significance of events as they unfold. The shift is both a test and a confirmation. It will reveal the faithful, those who have remained steadfast in integrity and in obedience, and it will expose the careless, the indifferent, those who have ignored the whisperings of the Spirit. And yet, even in its exposing, it carries mercy, for it is meant to awaken, to call, to turn hearts back to the source of life. This is the work of God, not of man, and it moves according to a timetable that is perfect, precise, and far beyond human comprehension. Those who understand this will find themselves prepared, positioned, and empowered to move in alignment with the purposes of heaven. Doors that were closed will open, favor that was hidden will become evident, and a flow of provision, protection, and guidance will accompany those who have positioned themselves rightly. But it requires faith, a trust that is not shaken by appearances, not deterred by setbacks, not swayed by confusion. It requires a spiritual vision that pierces through the chaos and sees the invisible hand at work. It requires a heart that is soft yet strong, humble, yet courageous, obedient yet discerning. The shift brings with it a realignment of priorities, a recalibration of purpose, and a redefining of destiny. It is not merely about what happens externally, but about the transformation that occurs within, the revelation of the divine presence in the soul, and the awakening to a life that is fully in sync with God's plan. Those who embrace it will see clarity where there was confusion, hope where there was despair, direction where there was uncertainty, and provision where there was lack. The shift will touch every area of life: relationships, finances, health, vocation, and spiritual insight. It will stir dormant potentials, ignite gifts that have been hidden, and activate callings that have been delayed. And it will bring a sense of urgency, a recognition that time is moving, that the season is changing, and that action is required to align with the momentum that God is releasing. It is a moment that cannot be ignored, a moment that carries the weight of eternity, a moment that has been prepared by God from the beginning. And yet it is offered to all who will receive it, all who will heed the call, all who will open their eyes and see, all who will prepare their hearts and position themselves for the harvest that is coming. The shift is coming, and it is unstoppable, inevitable, and perfect in timing. Those who are ready will step into it with confidence, with faith, and with expectation, and they will witness the hand of God move in ways that exceed imagination, in ways that fulfill promises, in ways that bring hope, joy, and peace, in ways that confirm that God's plan has not been forgotten, that His word stands, and that His presence is with those who seek Him with all their heart. And so, awaken your mind, sharpen your vision, open your spirit, and prepare, for the divine shift is upon you. And it is a turning point, a moment of revelation, a time of alignment, and the beginning of a new season that will shape what is to come in ways that are profound, powerful, and eternal. A time of reckoning and revelation is upon you, a moment that has been ordained in the unseen realms, a season that is moving swiftly toward manifestation, and it will affect the lives of many in ways that cannot be ignored. This is not merely a passage of days or the turning of a calendar, but a divine appointment, a moment when hidden truths will surface, veiled realities will be exposed, and the consequences of choices long made will become clear. There is a reckoning in the spiritual realm, a judgment that is not arbitrary but purposeful, designed to awaken the hearts of men, to correct the paths of the wayward, and to reveal the intentions of those who walk in darkness. It is a time when what has been ignored, denied, or concealed will be brought into the light, and there will be no place to hide, no excuses to offer, and no illusions to cling to. For some, this reckoning will be a wake-up call, a turning point that brings clarity, understanding, and renewed vision. For others, it will be a confrontation, a moment of exposure, a time when the reality of their choices, their actions, and their neglect will stand before them with undeniable evidence. And yet, even in this time of reckoning, there is mercy, for it is designed not merely to punish, but to awaken, to instruct, and to lead back to the path of righteousness. Those who recognize it, those who humble themselves, those who turn their hearts toward God, will find a way through, a door of escape, a path of blessing that was prepared long before this moment. The revelations that will come in this time will shake the foundations of complacency, strip away illusions, and challenge the false securities upon which men have relied. Secrets will be uncovered, hidden intentions exposed, and the truth that has been obscured by pride, fear, or distraction will finally be made known. It is a moment of divine illumination, a time when the eyes of understanding will open, the ears of the heart will hear, and the soul will recognize the hand of God moving in ways that were previously unseen. This revelation will not always come gently, nor will it always be easy to bear. For many, it will be uncomfortable, confronting, and disruptive. Yet, it is precisely through this discomfort, through the breaking of old patterns, through the disruption of familiar paths, that transformation is made possible. The time of reckoning serves to separate what is temporary from what is eternal, what is false from what is true, and what is aligned with God's purposes from what is not. It calls for discernment, for wisdom, for courage, and for faith to walk through the storms that accompany such revelation. Those who resist, who ignore, or who harden their hearts will face the consequences of delay, disobedience, and neglect. But those who embrace it, who seek understanding, who align themselves with truth, will discover the way forward illuminated, provision released, and promises fulfilled. In this time, events will unfold that may appear ordinary on the surface, but carry within them divine meaning. Every encounter, every word spoken, every circumstance that arises will be part of the tapestry of revelation, carefully orchestrated to awaken, to teach, and to prepare. The universe itself will respond to alignment with God's purposes, and opportunities, insights, and interventions that were previously unseen will become apparent. There will be warnings, signs, and moments of clarity designed to redirect, to correct, and to prepare. And those who are alert, who are sensitive to the movement of the Spirit, will recognize them, seize them, and act in accordance with divine guidance. This time of reckoning and revelation is also a call to accountability. It is a moment when intentions will be weighed, decisions tested, and commitments measured against the standard of truth. It is a call to examine hearts, motives, and actions, to repent where necessary, to seek correction where error has occurred, and to align fully with the divine will. The revelations of this season are not merely intellectual or theoretical, but are practical, affecting daily life, relationships, finances, health, and purpose. They will guide, correct, and open doors that were previously closed, revealing paths of blessing, opportunity, and spiritual growth. And as the light of revelation shines, it will expose darkness, unveil deception, and bring clarity where confusion has reigned. Hearts will be stirred, spirits awakened, and lives transformed as the power of God moves in alignment with His purposes. This reckoning is not a moment to fear, but a moment to embrace with discernment, courage, and faith. It is an invitation to step into clarity, to walk in understanding, and to act in accordance with the will of God. Those who heed it will experience guidance, protection, and the fulfillment of promises that have long been awaited. They will recognize the timing of God, the unfolding of destiny, and the hand of the Almighty in every detail of their lives. And in this time, the veil between the seen and unseen will grow thin, revealing the patterns, purposes, and movements of God that have been at work behind the scenes. This is a season to prepare, to align, to humble oneself, and to walk in obedience, for the consequences of neglect or resistance will be real and lasting. Yet, for those who are vigilant, who seek understanding, who respond with faith, this time of reckoning and revelation will be a doorway to new beginnings, unprecedented opportunities, and profound transformation. The days ahead will not be ordinary, for they carry the weight of destiny, the movement of heaven, and the unveiling of what has long been hidden. Every detail, every event, every encounter is part of a divine plan designed to awaken hearts, reveal truth, and bring alignment with God's purposes. And so prepare yourself, open your eyes, ready your heart, and listen closely, for the time of reckoning and revelation is at hand. And it is a moment that will determine the course of what is to come, shaping lives, families, communities, and nations in ways that are powerful, purposeful, and eternal. Unexpected openings and blessings are coming, and they will arrive in ways that defy human expectation, timing, and logic. They are the movement of God, unbound by human plans, schedules, or limitations, and they are designed to bring provision, favor, and divine alignment to those who have remained faithful, vigilant, and sensitive to His guidance. These openings are not the result of human effort alone, nor are they the reward of chance. They are the manifestation of a divine orchestration that has been prepared long before this moment, woven into the very fabric of time, and timed with precision according to the will of the Almighty. Yet, these blessings will not always be recognized at first glance. They may arrive in forms that seem ordinary, in circumstances that appear coincidental, or in encounters with people and opportunities that seem random. But for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear, for those who discern the movement of God in the details of life, these openings will reveal themselves as divine interventions, providential encounters, and unprecedented opportunities for advancement, restoration, and fulfillment. They are designed to restore what has been lost, to unlock doors that have long been closed, and to bring alignment with destiny that has been delayed, obscured, or obstructed. The blessings themselves may manifest in various ways: financial provision, renewed relationships, healed bodies, restored hope, clarity of purpose, and spiritual awakening. Each blessing carries within it a purpose, a lesson, and a momentum that propels the recipient into the next season of life. And yet, they require readiness, attentiveness, and faith to receive fully. Many miss the blessings because they are looking for grandeur rather than subtlety, expecting signs that are loud rather than listening for whispers that are quiet, waiting for certainty rather than stepping forward in trust. But God's openings are often concealed within the ordinary, hidden in plain sight, waiting for the prepared heart to recognize them. These blessings are not merely temporal or material. They are spiritual as well, designed to expand the capacity of the heart, to increase discernment, to deepen faith, and to establish alignment with the purposes of heaven. They are instruments for transformation, tools to equip the faithful, and catalysts for the fulfillment of destiny. And yet, with these openings comes responsibility. They are not to be taken lightly, hoarded, or used selfishly. They are to be stewarded with wisdom, gratitude, and obedience, for their full potential is realized only when they are aligned with God's plan, shared with others, and utilized for the greater good. The unexpected nature of these openings serves a purpose in itself. They remind the faithful that God is sovereign, that human effort alone is insufficient, and that dependence upon Him is the pathway to true success and fulfillment. They teach humility, patience, and trust, showing that timing, divine insight, and unseen orchestration are far beyond human comprehension. And as these openings and blessings are received, they will often trigger a chain reaction, opening additional doors, releasing favor, and creating opportunities that were previously unimaginable. Each step taken in faith, each act of obedience, each moment of trust in the unseen compounds the movement of these blessings, producing exponential effects in life, work, relationships, and spiritual growth. The unexpected blessings will also challenge perspectives, disrupt comfort zones, and push the faithful into new arenas where dependence on God becomes absolute, where human limitations are confronted, and where divine strength is revealed. They are moments of revelation, opportunity, and empowerment that transform the ordinary into extraordinary, the mundane into sacred, and the delayed into fulfilled promises. These openings are not merely rewards, but instruments for preparation, equipping the faithful for what lies ahead, and aligning them with purposes that transcend their own understanding. They serve to awaken vision, ignite destiny, and create pathways for influence, impact, and spiritual multiplication. And so those who recognize the season, those who are spiritually alert, those who have aligned their hearts and lives with divine intent, will find themselves stepping into these openings with confidence, clarity, and expectation, fully prepared to receive, act, and multiply the blessings in ways that honor the one who orchestrates them. The timing, method, and magnitude of these blessings will always reflect the wisdom, mercy, and sovereignty of God. They will surpass human expectation, exceed previous limitations, and defy natural explanation, revealing that God's hand is at work, that His promises are sure, and that His plan for provision, favor, and purpose cannot be hindered by circumstance or opposition. These openings are invitations to faith, to courage, to action, and to obedience. They are reminders that God's timing is perfect, His insight flawless, and His plan immovable. And as they unfold, they will bring a tangible sense of hope, affirmation, and the unmistakable realization that divine orchestration is at work, even in moments that seemed ordinary or uncertain. Those who embrace these opportunities, respond with gratitude, and step boldly into the openings that God provides will experience transformation, multiplication, and fulfillment in every area of life, bearing witness to the power, provision, and faithfulness of the Almighty. And so remain watchful, attentive, and ready, for the unexpected openings and blessings of this season are at hand, prepared to reveal the magnitude of God's love, the precision of His plan, and the reality of His presence in ways that are profound, life-changing, and eternal. A call to prepare and align is sounding, a summons that resonates beyond the natural realm and pierces the depths of the human spirit. This is not a call to mere activity or busy work, nor is it a call to temporary measures or half-hearted attempts. It is a divine invitation to position oneself fully, to attune the heart, mind, and spirit to the purposes of God, and to step into alignment with the season He has ordained. The call is urgent yet patient, commanding yet gentle, and it carries the weight of eternity. To prepare is to awaken, to be alert to the unseen movements of heaven, to discern the signs, the patterns, and the purposes that are unfolding all around. It is a call to examine every aspect of life, relationships, intentions, priorities, finances, health, spiritual disciplines, and inner motivations. Nothing is too small, nothing insignificant, for God's purposes move through the ordinary as well as the extraordinary. To align is to synchronize one's life with the divine rhythm, to submit fully to guidance that surpasses human understanding, and to trust in a wisdom that orchestrates every detail with precision. This alignment requires humility, for the proud and the self-reliant are blind to the movements of God and resistant to His timing. It requires faith, for the path may not always be clear, the outcomes uncertain, and the steps invisible to the natural eye. It requires vigilance, for distraction, delay, and misalignment can render one unresponsive to the opportunities, openings, and divine interventions that God has prepared. The call to prepare and align is both a warning and a promise. It warns of the dangers of complacency, delay, and spiritual blindness. Those who ignore it risk missing the blessings, the openings, and the revelations that are part of God's plan. Yet it promises that those who heed it, who respond with faith, humility, and obedience will find themselves positioned for unprecedented favor, clarity, and transformation. Preparation is not passive, it requires active engagement with God's Word, prayer, reflection, and the cultivation of a heart sensitive to His voice. It requires the removal of obstacles, doubts, fears, unforgiveness, distractions, and worldly preoccupations that hinder responsiveness to divine instruction. Alignment demands a surrendering of personal agendas, a yielding of control, and a willingness to follow wherever the Spirit leads, even when the path is unfamiliar, uncomfortable, or challenging. In this season, the heavens are moving, and the divine clock is orchestrating events in perfect sequence. Every moment, every encounter, every challenge is part of a pattern designed to prepare and align those who are willing to listen, to watch, and to act in faith. To ignore this call is to resist the current of divine momentum, to remain in the shadows of opportunity while doors swing open for those who are attuned to the movement of God. Yet, for those who respond, the rewards are immeasurable. Alignment brings clarity where there was confusion, peace where there was unrest, provision where there was lack, and direction where there was uncertainty. It releases favor, opens doors, multiplies resources, and awakens dormant potential, equipping the faithful for a season of impact, influence, and fulfillment. And it is not only for personal benefit, for God's alignment always carries an outward movement, extending blessing, insight, and influence into families, communities, nations, and spheres of destiny. The call to prepare and align is accompanied by divine instruction, subtle guidance, and often testings that refine, purify, and strengthen those who respond. The refining process may be uncomfortable, the testing intense, but it is designed to produce maturity, discernment, and readiness for the blessings, openings, and revelations that are about to unfold. In heeding this call, one steps into the flow of divine timing, recognizes the opportunities that others miss, and positions themselves in accordance with purposes that have been decreed before the foundation of the world. There is power in alignment, strength in obedience, and clarity in preparation. It allows one to navigate challenges, overcome obstacles, and participate in the fulfillment of promises that are beyond human imagination. The heavens respond to those who prepare, and the Spirit of God moves to orchestrate circumstances, people, and resources in alignment with His plan. This call is not for delay or hesitation, for seasons pass quickly, and the window of opportunity is precise. The faithful are summoned to wake, to rise, and to act, to recognize the sacred timing, and to position themselves in harmony with the will of God. It is a call to awaken spiritual perception, to cultivate sensitivity to divine guidance, to act with courage, and to trust in the movement of heaven, even when the natural evidence seems absent. The preparation is both internal and external. Internal, to refine the heart, mind, and spirit. External, to organize, plan, and step into actions that reflect obedience and alignment with God's plan. And as this alignment is embraced, lives will change, destinies will be realized, blessings will flow, and revelation will illuminate paths previously hidden. Opportunities will be multiplied, favor will be released, and the movement of God will become evident in ways that cannot be explained by human wisdom or effort alone. To heed this call is to embrace the divine rhythm, to step into the current of God's timing, and to participate fully in the manifestation of His purposes. It is a call to awaken, to prepare, to align, and to move with the certainty that God's plan is perfect, His timing flawless, and His provision unfailing. Those who respond will witness the miraculous, experience the extraordinary, and see the hand of God move in ways that will leave no doubt that He is present, powerful, and actively working in their lives. And so, awaken your hearts, focus your minds, ready your spirits, and position yourselves with diligence, for the call to prepare and align is here, and it is a moment that will determine the unfolding of destiny, the manifestation of blessings, and the fulfillment of God's plan in ways that are profound, eternal, and transformative.